Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2. So this goblin failing his ambush I think has given us a real opportunity. I was looking through the diplomacy menu trying to figure stuff out while I was setting up here, and the Bloody Spears are now strength rank 52. We are strength rank 16. That means that they have, probably it just means that they have fewer armies than we do, right? A gap of that size. And since the number of armies we have is like 1 1/3, there's a really good chance that this is their only actual functional stack right now. They have a lone lord over here doing recruitment, but I think that if we sweep over here and take this guy out, we're going to be able to march to Karak really quickly and probably encounter very little resistance. Now, that doesn't totally take into account the fact that there might be armies from the Greenskins faction running around, but we do know that the Brayherds just spawned, hopefully at war with the Orcs. I'm not actually sure. I'm pretty sure these guys are not friends with the Beastmen. So that might be a distraction. They have other stuff to worry about. Maybe not. Yeah, they're obviously they're pushing west, so hopefully they're still doing that. Hopefully some of the human factions that are over here on this peninsula are resisting them in some way. And then down to the south, we can't see this, but I do know that this area of the map is very very Tomb King heavy, and I don't think the Tomb Kings and the Greenskins like each other at all. So we can hope that the Greenskins are pretty distracted. Now we have this quest battle coming up, and this is important, and I do want to get this done, but I'm a little concerned that if we step outside the settlement and go do the quest battle now, I think we'll win, but we'll win while taking significant damage. We'll come back, and then we'll get rushed by this guy and probably lose that battle. So I don't think we can ignore the opportunity to attack here. We're going to take this guy on. However, there's something else I want to do first, because we have another situation, and I'm concerned that if I wait until after the battle, I'll forget to deal with it. Obviously, we're having some approval problems up here in the Rib Peaks, which we have to deal with, and we're sending an army to handle it. But we're also actually having some pretty serious leadership problems in Peak Pass. This wasn't super obvious because while we had Thorgrim's stacking Karak, he was solving the problem. But now that he's on his way out, you can see we're going to have a rebellion here really soon, actually. And I don't think we can turn him around because of the extreme rate of public order loss here. This has to get solved. So I think the best solution to this is Thorgrim keeps going how he's going, and we hire a third general to sit in Karak. Now, it doesn't take a lot of manpower to offset 5 points of public order loss. So it could be a token army. We could recruit what's his name, Grombrindal the White Dwarf, and have him sit here with half a dozen dwarf warriors or something, and that would solve that problem. Obviously, this is going to really, really cut into our income, but we certainly can't afford to have rebellions spawning around our capital, disrupting our tech advancement, and we certainly can't have rebellions spawning around Mount Gunbad, because that's going to significantly affect our economy. We need all this money coming in. So I think that's the smartest thing to do. Another thing I like about that plan is it gives us a little bit of, first of all, ability to threaten the vampires, and secondly, a little bit of extra defense against the vampires. If we already have, a third of a stack sitting here in Karak, it's much easier to spin that up into a real army than it would be to start a new army. We're talking about probably 2 or 3 turns of difference in terms of bringing that to full size. And we'll have Thorgrim sitting in Grom Peak, so that'll defend against the vampires from this side. And like I've said, we are going to have to fight the vampires probably relatively soon, because we can't just keep letting them bleed vampire corruption into everything. So let's do that so I don't forget. The other thing we can do, this is probably worth thinking about, is we could demolish this garrison building that we've spent all this time building and replace it with a beer hall. Even if we do that, I still think we should develop a little army for Karak, because what is it, a refectory? Is that what they call it? Yeah, the refectory is only just barely going to offset the amount of public order loss we're seeing here, and remember that we're going to continue to lose public order as the percentage of vampire corruption creeps up. I think I want to keep the garrison structure in place for the moment. Because I'm not entirely confident that we will continue to hold everything here. Who knows what's going to happen with the vampires and the greenskins and whatnot. Boy, this is pretty deep in our empire, though, isn't it? It feels kind of bad because I just spent all this money building this, right? But that's maybe just me falling victim to the sunk cost fallacy. Our campaign southward was much more effective than I was expecting, and anything that's going to come up toward Nashrak's lair is going to go through Mount Gunbad first anyway. Yeah, okay. Let's do both. So we're going to start by demolishing this. Yeah, I wasted some money building that. Oh well. And then we are going to recruit Grumbridle and have him start putting together a little army here. And his army really has to be the cheapest stuff we have available, so actually it might not even be Dwarf Warriors. I think I'm going to have him sit here with an army of miners. Yeah. The effect that the army has on public order, I think, is just based on the number of units in the army. It doesn't matter what they are. So I feel comfortable with this. A miner is only 2/3 of the upkeep of a Dwarf Warrior.
Don't you fret, it's done.
Alright, so we'll build that up. You... I guess you can actually come and sit here, right? Because you have an effect on public order. Although we're fighting off a much harsher penalty down south. No, you know what? You should probably try to keep up with Thorgrim. Because we apparently don't need him to actually enter that province. The quest moved forward without us. Alright, let's go get him.
Aye.
What are we seeing here? Okay, so they have a couple of catapults. That means we do have to manage this battle a little bit differently than the ones we've been doing recently. So they're actually going to be able to fight us at range. They have some trolls, who I'm not super worried about. Trolls are dangerous, but their leadership is bad. So we can probably just scare them off, the same way we scare a lot of the goblin units off. And then they have a couple units of orc boar boys. So these are actually pretty good orc cavalry. We're going to have to be wary of the charge. The good news is they're large units, so
Ready.
Ungrim's finally going to have something large to fight.
Karak attacks.
Alright, yeah, this is really bad for them. They really needed to have this ambush work, or to just run away on their turn. Now, it's important that we don't lose our catapults, so we do have to watch out for the boar charge. It's not like it's a big deal for us to get more catapults in a financial sense, and, you know, obviously we have the buildings, and they're not irreplaceable, but because of the fact that we would have to get them through the global recruitment pool, a lost catapult means 2 turns of lost movement, and we really do need to resolve the Karak thing quickly. Because those grudges are the severity of those grudges is starting to get out of hand. We also need to try to figure out where that Bloody Spear's army is. Actually, yeah, there's that army that's led by that war chief that we have the grudge against. So we know for a fact that the Bloody Spears have at least 1 stack that we can't see. It's weird that their strength is estimated to be so much lower than ours. Maybe that guy's army has lost recently, and so he's like in really bad shape. I don't know. That is a problem for a few minutes from now. For right now, let's focus on murder here. So they also have a goblin archer chariot. These things are more annoying than anything else. Again, their goblin ranged weapons aren't particularly dangerous against us. The only reason we care about night goblin archers is because of the poison. It's certainly not the arrows themselves. Oh, a lot of trees. Well, that's inconvenient. So actually, let's have a look at the stats of a Goblin Rocklobber compared to the stats of our own stuff. Grudge Throwers have considerably greater range, about the same missile damage. Very, very similar. The crews are better at actually fighting, more melee defense and attack, more weapon strength. Okay, so we have slightly superior range. So probably what we want to do here is we want to position our catapults such that we are just barely in range of their catapults. Which means actually a little further forward than this. And I want to try to keep the fight happening in the open. We have better ranged weapons than they do, The open does give their cavalry a cleaner charge, but I'm just not that worried. Okay, this'll do. We'll focus our artillery on their artillery first. And that means that everybody else, to avoid being catapultable, everybody else needs to be no further forward than the catapult crews. Even you guys. So we'll move our range forward through the catapults when the time comes. Alright, what do we have left here? Oh yeah, I have an extra unit of warriors, right, because they don't look like warriors. The miners could go somewhere tricky, but I'm not sure that it's actually valuable for them to be somewhere tricky. Here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move these dwarf warriors out to this side. We're going to put those miners right there, so that they have a good throw on whatever approaches as it approaches. Alright, and the catapult crews are pretty protected. It'll be easy to move troops in should the enemy approach with the boars and stuff. I think we're in good shape here. Everybody in guard mode. Grudge throwers immediately focus on these jerks. We don't necessarily need to do a ton of damage to them, but if we can break down even a couple of their catapults and give ourselves unquestioned artillery superiority, that will be obviously very helpful. Okay, got a couple of solid hits there. So with artillery crews, I should probably talk about this. You notice there's the artillery units themselves, and then their operating crews. You can, of course, disable artillery by killing all the crew. And that's usually, well, like, if you charge them with cavalry, that's what your cavalry will try to do. But you can actually break the artillery pieces. And obviously doing that means that the artillery crew is just a really bad melee unit. Although, honestly, our artillery crew isn't that much worse than a warrior. So if we could break down a couple of these catapults, that would make me feel a lot more secure. I think aside from that, yeah, let's just keep it up, guys. You know what you're doing. Alright, they've stopped moving because they are in range. They're going to start counter-firing. Come on. Okay, decent hits there. Like, we're not getting much damage done on the actual pieces themselves. What are they shooting at? It's like they're just firing at our longbeards. We can cycle them out if the damage starts to get too harsh. Okay, that catapult crew is feeling pretty broken. We're going to let one more volley come in, and then we're going to change targets. We've done some good damage. They aren't going to actually be able to fire their weapons all that effectively. Alright, so they're leading the charge with the trolls. I don't think we really need to be too worried here. Let's unselect the catapults so that I can move my mouse around without seeing all those arrows. I'm going to continue to be patient for a moment here. I think it's interesting that they're sending the boars around the sides. It's probably time to move in. Yeah, I'm not really sure what they're doing sending the boars around the sides. They're not going to establish a meaningful flank. I don't know. I'm going to have these miners actually move, like, way up in front. I want them to try to hit the trolls as quickly as possible. You do have these black orcs to worry about. Black orcs definitely need to get... I mean, it would be nice to get them met by the longbeards, I guess. But frankly, if we can just surround them, that'll be good enough. Black orcs, I believe, have... yeah, an actually good leadership value. So we are going to have to... for the first time in quite a while, maybe ever, actually, with these guys, we are actually going to have to fight these black orcs to death. They're probably not going to break and run, at least not as quickly as we're used to. I'm gonna move one of the units of Slayers up behind the warriors as they advance. We're gonna keep the others, or we're gonna keep some stuff back to try to defend against the boar boys. You guys probably just like move up like this. Try not to make ourselves too vulnerable to a cavalry flank here. Set up a formation like that, and their lord is a shaman, so he will try to stay back and be a coward. And we're just gonna have to solve that. Alright, trolls don't have a great amount of armor, so we could probably focus the ranged attackers on them. Actually, let's make sure we're focusing the gunners on the black orcs. Turns out those rifles pierce that orc armor pretty well. Alright, so I think these guys probably just going to be... Ungrim's probably just going to be running into dudes. Alright, good luck, Dwarf Warriors. We believe in you. Actually, never mind. Change my mind. I'm getting a little worried now that the grenades might be a little much. Given the way this situation is turning out, we can probably use those minor grenades to better effect. You guys should probably pull off and try to hit these black orcs. We need to present a firing opening to our Thunderers. I kind of want to move the Thunderers forward like this. So we just need to make sure that we don't allow the enemy to get a hold of them easily. If you guys run into the biggins, you work on the biggins. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to just throw grenades at those archers. That'll run them off. So you guys have to stay in here. Honestly, I would expect the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass to do alright against Orc Boar Boys. They do have anti-infantry damage, but you can see at 22 melee attack, 22 defense. This is a unit of shock cavalry. They're not intended to really stay in combat. What you're supposed to do is charge into stuff and then run away quickly and then charge back in. And to complement that playstyle, they have a very large charge bonus. I don't think the AI is actually using them that way, which bodes pretty well for us being able to get out of this. And you guys just run forward and hold the biggins until we can get into position to help. So it looks like we don't really have to worry about a cavalry charge. I think I can just commit the Slayers to battle here. Let's just run forward. And you guys just... Also, I just run into the middle. We'll find a spot for the wraparound. We'll get that flank. Here go the grenades. You know, Ungrim's gonna take a grenade or two. That's gonna happen.
Move! Axes out!
We can make that happen real fast.
For the ancestors! Kill anything without a man!
That's a lot of grenades into a lot of oncoming orcs. Got our gunfire going. Some of our dudes are falling for the old charge and retreat tactic, trying to spread us out. These Slayers need to get up here and flank the biggins. I'm going to let the Warriors continue to chase those guys for now, and I think we are winning here. It doesn't look super great. Remember, these are the Longbeards that were getting bombarded by artillery early in the battle. And they've kept a unit of Orc Boar Boys back, I guess, to defend their artillery crew to prevent us from killing them. It doesn't seem great. Their artillery is in such bad shape that I think we can probably go ahead and refocus our artillery on something closer. Although, also, I kind of think we don't have to. And working their artillery over does keep them from focusing on our stuff and killing it. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Just keep doing what you're doing. Actually, I guess not exactly what you're doing. Switch targets to the other artillery unit.
Let the vengeance begin!
We got one more volley of grenades coming before it's time to engage in melee over here. Wow. That's pretty good. Nope, I guess we still have some left. So they've got a great shaman and a night goblin shaman. That's more spellcasters than I would generally recommend. These Thunderers turn around and start working on those guys. It's not necessarily a bad idea to have multiple units of casters, but you really need... or multiple casters, but you really need multiple casters. It's not super clear, I guess, to people who haven't played this game before, because we haven't used any... dwarves don't even have any units that use the normal magic system. But the way the magic system works in this game, all of your casters draw from a shared resource pool, so having more casters doesn't even really mean more spells. We need to come in here and start working on some of these heroes. Unit of biggins plus boys is actually being kind of a problem. Could you guys go into melee mode and, like, actually just get some murdering done? Alright, over here, we're winning this front. This stuff's all going well. We could probably be putting some crossbow fire into different enemies than we are currently putting it into. But on the whole, I think this is going pretty well. We gotta try to get Ungrim over here. They're finally bringing forward that unit of boar boys. Oh, these Slayers are way deep, way overcommitted to that chase. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to get Ungrim out of that group of orcs. He's having too much fun. You guys maybe make that stop happening, please. Oh, that's nice of them. They're gonna come to me. So the Goblin Great Shaman is their lord. This is the one we really want to focus on.
The Iron Fist speaks! Hello, troops! Dwarf warriors! Fight!
Yes, yeah, you keep following there, you keep following there. You guys can come back and hit the black orcs in the back. Slayers should be able to take Goblin Wolf Riders if we can get them to stick around and fight us. Although I guess maybe we should keep running these Slayers back because they're getting attacked by ranged troops. Also, they did finally Boar Boy charge us. Could you guys maybe go into melee mode and distract them, and the Grudge Thrower crew needs to try to back off. You guys also try to get over here and be a distraction. And Ungrim actually hasn't managed to... Oh no, wait, this is the Night Goblin Shaman. Okay, yes, we did manage to mess up their Great Shaman. He's just in full retreat. We might be able to just chase him off the map. As always, morale's a serious problem. You can see a lot of their units are in full retreat at any time. Have these guys fall back, see if we can finish this off. Alright, let their units that are running, run. We're going to bring people back and try to close this out. And if their stuff that is retreating manages to recover and come back in, then we'll just kill it again. But yeah, you can see their morale is faltering all over the place. Okay, we didn't actually lose any units there. We did take some more damage to our Grudge Throwers than I would like. Their army is in a terrible state, though. And we should be able to pursue them. I think here they're going to be able to actually retreat. It looks like we completely wiped out their units of biggins. That's good. Their catapult units are in terrible shape, so they won't really be a concern for the next battle. We took some catapult damage as well, but our other ranged units are pretty much in perfect health. So we're going to have a massive ranged advantage in the second battle, even more than we did here. Also, I feel like it's not that often that a dwarf army actually deploys more bodies to the field than a greenskin army. It is probably worth noting, just to get a sense of it, to make sure that we are all aware and prepared for the future. The unit that killed the most enemies in this battle was actually that unit of Black Orcs. Black Orcs are a very serious threat. We're going to try to get our position here solidified before the greenskins show up with any more of this nonsense. Oh, this is... You know what? This is a Greenskins army. It's not a Bloody Spears army at all. Of course this... of course this isn't the one functional Bloody Spear stack. It's not a Bloody Spear stack. So the army that we have the grudge against is somewhere with real units, and then we have the one Lone Lord recruiting, and that's the armies that the Bloody Spears have, which is why they're so much weaker than we are. Duh. Okay. I somehow totally, like, I saw them approach, and I know that I knew they were a greenskin army, but I just blanked on it at the beginning of the episode for some reason. Boy, the end of this loading bar does always seem to take absolutely forever, doesn't it? So anyway, these guys are going to be able to successfully retreat a small distance. I think we have enough movement to push after them. We will, honestly, probably mostly win the second battle before the armies actually make contact with one another, because we're going to be able to really just pelt their couple of healthy units with artillery fire as they approach. And then that, hopefully, will actually eliminate them. We can go back toward our newly conquered settlement, heal up there, and then maybe do the quest battle in a turn or two, or maybe we just try to march on Kuraz or Karak while we have the opportunity. I'm not sure. Man, greenskins never have any money. Also, I didn't even get a level out of that.
Aye, I'll move.
We did, however, get the Sword of Anti-Heroes. 5 melee attack, makes you do magical damage, and gives... That's a fairly long duration for such a buff. That's not bad at all. I think I would rather keep the Ranger's Hammer, but it's not bad. Alright, let's finish him off. We got nowhere to go. We're going to do this manually. I wish I could just hit auto-resolve, but I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson from early in the campaign. We are not going to press auto-resolve and have all of my wounded units die. Especially since there's a real good chance that we take no meaningful damage during this battle. The second Battle of Mount Squeehorn. It turns out it's the exact same terrain. They only have the one catapult crew this time. We did wipe out the other thing, and you can see they only actually have one catapult to their name, while we still have 6 functional catapults. So we're gonna set up in a very similar manner, but yeah, we can go back a little bit. But we don't need to be nearly as concerned about long-range damage here. Yeah, that should be fine.
Miners! Dwarf warriors!
It worked the first time, it will work okay the second time. It is, of course, worth remembering that we have to try to prevent allowing another cavalry charge in. Oh, that's right, the range need to go back there. Hold on. I don't know if you can save formations. I don't think you can. But I do tend to use a lot of similar formations. You know, because if they were right the first time, why not this time? So hold on, we gotta select a target here. I think I want to start by shooting my grudge throwers at the trolls? They don't have any big uns left. We could shoot at the black orcs, I guess. My concern with this is that any rounds that don't hit like dead center are going to be wasted, because there are few enough black orcs that they're a pretty tightly packed little unit here. Whereas shooting at the trolls, anything that overshoots will at least try have a chance of hitting something. Let's start here. Let's see if we can do away with these trolls. I'm just not even going to worry about this single artillery fire, which I guess means we could have started our units back even a little bit further. Wow, did you see that? That troll took an artillery shot. He took one of those big rocks right to his chest, and it didn't even actually knock him down initially. It just pushed him backward, and then he fell over after. Yep, see, slight overshooting. Really doing some good damage to those black orcs. Oh, a lot of them are getting back up, though. I mean, you can't say they're not impressive combatants. The trolls are having a change of heart about this whole thing. So we still have quite a few black orcs left. Oh, also they got magic, I guess. That's a thing. Look at them in their very impressive armor. Okay. Let's be wary. They're going to try some stuff with their cavalry units this time, probably. Okay, let's make sure that... Oh, everybody's in guard mode. And let's make sure that we get rid of these things first. No poison. And the gunners can just kind of shoot wherever they want. Oh no, my lord is under attack. How much ammo does a Goblin Wolf Chariot even have? 55? I don't think that 55 of their shots will kill Ungrim. I think he can just stand there and take that. We gotta be careful about this, though. You take enemy charges much better if you take them in the front. Like this. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of turn this into a flank. I'm gonna move a unit of Slayers over here as well. I don't want them to present themselves. I want them to line up behind the warriors. But as soon as the charge happens and battle is met, I want those Slayers in there hacking dudes up. And on this side, I actually feel totally confident just moving in. I think we are good to run forward. Their ranged are revealed, and frankly, I wasn't that scared of them in the first place. I do want to try to get the ranged weapon, the grenade attack, onto the trolls. It does do fire damage, right? Yeah. Okay. They will hate that. You just move up. You get ready. Okay. And actually, Ungrim may as well run forward as well. Get him, Ungrim! Trolls also are large, and as such are vulnerable to Ungrim's anti-large bonus. Oh my god! That whole unit of boys just, like, evaporated. Let's make sure that nothing crazy is happening over here. They're actually winging even further around. Yeah. I'm going to send one unit on this chase, because, honestly, as soon as we get close, they're going to turn around and ride away from us. And because they're in chariots, and the goblins are not actually having to do the running, the goblins will just continue to shoot at us as they run, so I really don't want to devote more than one set of bodies to that. And this thing... yeah, just be ready. They want their attack, but they're not going to get it. Do your best to focus there. You guys... hold on a second. These guys totally abandoned their siege gear. Get back on your catapults. That's what this icon means, is that they are not on their catapults. And we should probably have one of our units of ranged fire at their range fire at their catapult, because actually I'm gonna do this. Our weak unit can get back to their damn catapults. Once they've done that, then they can fire back here. Because these things still having morale is going to prevent the battle from ending in a rout. And it's just running back and forth. I'm going to get that goblin shaman. Man, we're short and everything, but he is so small that it's actually kind of hard to keep him. Oh my god! Okay, are you okay? He's fine. Alright, they finally committed a little bit. Let's see if we can keep him in place. Give them no angle to flee to. Alright. They did manage to maneuver their Wolf Riders around enough. It's fine. By the way, part of the reason that I am using pausing and stuff, even though arguably the game is easy enough as it is because I do want to be able to zoom in and show cool stuff happening in battle sometimes, and that is going to occasionally mean that I miss a cavalry charge or something like that. You have to be able to recover. Alright, see if we can catch those guys. It's a good thing, though, they're actually charging into our healthy catapults, so Also, actually, our catapult crew might be able to just fight off a unit of Goblin Wolf Riders. I'm not actually that worried about that.
Move to attack! The Iron Fist!
Get him! Finish him off! Turn off the UI here. Just enjoy the madness of it. He's trying to get away. Ungrim's getting stuck on his own dudes. You can catch him, Ungrim. I believe in you. No, he can't. Dwarves are so slow. Alright, I think we're coming up on the end of this thing here. It looks to me like they are surrendering. Okay, very little meaningful damage there. And I do believe that will be the end of them. So, somebody said something to me that I think might be responsible for the weird case we saw earlier where that army was able to recruit multiple times. One person said that actually an army is able to recruit a number of times based on its remaining movement. As long as they have movement points left, they get to back off from battle and their army is not destroyed. But somebody else said that it's because I killed the lord of the army in the first battle and the army got a new lord after that, it is considered to be a new army at that point. And so I had to defeat them twice with that lord in the lead. Both of those seem somewhat plausible. The second one is certainly not the way it should work, but I totally can believe it being the way that it does work. We lost 37. They lost probably everything. Yeah, I mean, that's certainly not an army anymore. Okay, good stuff. We probably... Oh, we've unlocked a new Regiment of Renown. We've unlocked a couple new Regiments of Renown, and also some new armor. And a Dwarf Bride who increases income in the local region. Dwarf Bride for Thorgrim, what's his name? Thorgrim whatever. Thorgrim Beardfist, probably. That's pretty dwarfy. Alright, March mode. Let's try to get back as close to the action as possible. Look at how quickly Ungrim recovers after battle. Hey, how about we speed that up even more? Yeah, the extra recovery rate for the Slayers is also actually a really big deal. So, let's see. You guys. We're going to need a Dwarf Bride in here somewhere. Probably this Runesmith Apprentice is not actually a good thing to have equipped. It's difficult for me to imagine that lowering the recruitment cost for Runesmiths is worth our time. Also, this Strola's rune, we're not going to want to Vanguard deploy Thorgrim Grudgebearer, probably. So why don't we replace this with a Tattooist, because, of course, we are fighting the vampiric corruption everywhere. Man, a lot of dwarves look really similar. Like, really similar. Okay, are we actually done here? I think this turn has finally come to an end.
I grow restless.
Sorry, we have Regiments of Renown to recruit. Do I want to recruit these right this second? It's probably a good idea for Ungrim to grab the Dragonback Slayers. First of all, we've lost a lot of Slayers from our army, which obviously is not ideal. And secondly, they will benefit from all of the buffs that Ungrim has that benefit Slayers. But we don't need to recruit them right now. Because you can recruit Regiments of Renown instantly without having to spend a turn, I'm going to wait and do that at the last possible moment, so we're not paying their upkeep any longer than we have to. And actually, I'm going to do the same for that Grudge Thrower, but we should at least look. What's fancy about these guys? So, like, compared to a normal unit of Slayers, you'll notice that large amount of health. That's because this unit of Slayers is damaged. It's not actually... They don't have that much more max health. They have a little bit more leadership. Fast, Deathblow, Whirling Axes. They look pretty similar, actually. Hold on, this is new. The Power of the Dragonback. Constant self, active if in melee. Effects plus 22% flame resistance, and when they hit enemies, those enemies lose 36% speed and gain a weakness to fire damage. That's actually really interesting. Huh. I don't really know... I don't know how best to make use of that, but that seems really cool. And we also want to look at that the catapult. I keep forgetting. Here we go. Goblin Mangonel. A particularly stupid and otherwise useless goblin prisoner is tied to a boulder and is then fired, screaming all the way until he smashes into the target. Those hit by this projectile receive a leadership penalty. Wow, minus 16 is a pretty serious leadership penalty. How are the stats compared to a normal... Okay, it actually does considerably more just base damage. That's pretty cool. I don't think we need to recruit that army, or recruit that unit for this army, but probably... It doesn't actually say this on here, but probably this leadership penalty is only against greenskins? That would be my guess. So maybe this is the army where we want that. We could cut a unit of dwarf warriors. It's possible we don't need 3 siege weapons, but also 3 siege weapons sounds pretty good to me. I don't know that we need it, but I think I want it. Oh, you know what I forgot to check is where we are on our chapter objectives. Okay, so the greenskins have started putting together a new army here. That really increases our need to take down the Pillars of Grungni. We don't want that thing to have time to recruit. So I was going to probably pursue the quest battle before moving on any further, so that we could do the quest battle and then replenish in our friendly settlement, but we may have to hit the Pillars of Grungni now, even without our units necessarily healing up all the way. So I guess if I intend to maybe disband a unit of warriors to put in that catapult, I should have done it before ending the turn, so that we're not paying the upkeep cost for a unit of warriors we're not actually going to get any benefit from. It's important to save every coin we can, given that our economy has turned on us a little bit. Well, our public order has turned on us a bit and has necessitated us... Oh, no. Oh, he's been assassinated. Like, he's not wounded, he's all the way gone. Critical success. That sucks, because that was our runesmith. That guy's really good. Oh, that sucks a lot, actually. And that's going to be a grudge, probably, too. That's what we needed, was more grudges. No. Okay, it looks like it has not given us a new grudge.
I must fulfill my Slayer oath.
So we can't actually get close enough to attack this turn. We need to move right up to here. Stay just on our side of the line. And if I am getting rid of a unit of dwarf warriors, we should do it now. I think I am. Yeah, I think the other 2 slots of this army are going to be for the 2 regiments of renown. So let's not pay their upkeep cost. Everybody's going to go back to full, right? The Longbeards will be just short of full. The Grudge Thrower will be just short, but all this extra replenishment rate tech we have is actually very meaningful. You need to join this army.
From the shield wall. Good. Grimnir's axe thirsts.
Let's see, we can actually move a little bit further by marching than we can by taking the underway. If I had done the underway move before merging that hero in, we would have been able to skip all the way over these mountains, but the hero's reduced movement rate, unfortunately, made that a little awkward. What is your passive is increasing income in the province? So actually, we probably want you to sit in Rib Peaks and wait, right? Is he currently... Okay, yeah, he's in Mount Gunbed right now. Yeah, I'm just going to have him sit and wait for the army to approach, because he's actually providing us probably a fair amount of money by standing there. So yeah, you're done. Okay. I'm glad we didn't get a grudge off of this. I'm super annoyed that that worked. And I don't actually have the ability to recruit a new runesmith, right? Where does this come from? We need an armory. Which one is that? Okay, well, at least it's something that we can build, and it's something that's beneficial for us to build, so at least it's not locked away behind something distant. Like, it would be kind of a pain to get another master engineer. Alright, what else? Oh yes, chapter objectives. Our chapter... Okay, we are 1 settlement away from getting paid. So what are our optionals? We accomplished this already. That's another 1,000 gold. Recruit a runesmith. Probably not happening. Not fast enough. Build a foundry or hangar. Not happening. Complete 8 grudges. And complete 1 quest chain. Okay, so if we had completed the quest for the Dragon Cloak, we would be getting an extra 1,000 gold when we take this over. I don't think that 1,000 gold is worth delaying this push. Like, we need to make sure this dies. Alright, and how about buildings? Is there anything we need to build? Well, we should probably take the opportunity to increase the amount of money coming out of this Tinkerer's shop. We're still quite a number of turns away from being able to increase the size of Karak Ungor here. Karak Kadrin also 19 turns away. And you can see our public order is already actually zeroed out. Oh, because Grumbrindal has traits or something, right? Huh, wow, that is a face only a mother could love. Huh, it doesn't say he should be providing a really huge boost to public order. But apparently him being, like, if we mouse over this, it says 5 from characters. And then 2 from military presence. Weird. Well, let's go ahead and build our refectory. It looks like we maybe don't even need it anymore, but we will. Public order is going to be a problem for a while still. At some point, maybe we can tear that down. Plus, actually, if we're going to build more military technology buildings here, having an upgraded refectory here will make it so that we can recruit Bugman's Rangers, which I think are pretty good Rangers as far as Rangers go. I actually don't, I don't have any experience playing with Rangers. I don't know how necessary they are. Oh, that's worrying. Did you see that? We are rated as stronger than the Empire. We're actually almost as strong as the Greenskins, but the Greenskins do currently have a Wog army. So yeah, the fact that a lot of the Orc forces seem to be falling behind us in terms of military strength, I think means that the Beastmen Brayherd that spawned is in fact just running around wrecking their stuff. That's good. That's good timing on that distraction. The Empire's taken over Stirland. Stirland is the province that is directly west of all of the vampire starting stuff. So the fact that Stirland was willing to confederate probably means that the vampires are pushing west and doing a pretty okay job of it. That's fine. Thorgrim has gained extra movement range. Cool. They want me to pay them for a defensive alliance that I don't want. No thank you. That's fine. I'll be okay. Okay, a largish army has shown up at Jufbar out of nowhere. We need to get Thorgrim down here, like, in a real hurry. We might lose Grom Peak. We can take it back, obviously, but it's not great. This army is mustering. They're going to give us a little bit of time to get in position, it looks like. Alright, hold on. Let's assess this situation. Nasharak, hey. I know where that guy's from. Hold on, is this the army that we were supposed to kill? We're supposed to defeat an army led by Sour. Apparently that army's right here. That's bad for us. Okay, would you be able to make it further? Yeah, we can make it further with underway movement. But we're still going to be really far away.
One rag. An artillery train to speed us up.
Okay, we do get a little bit of extra movement range from that. And it's not like this army is terrible. Combined with the 12-unit garrison at Grom Peak, because we have some amount of garrison improvement there, it's not bad. Oh, you know what? Some of that extra approval we were seeing from characters was because that was Thorgrim's local province until just this moment.
You know who I am.
So we're getting 3 from the military presence, 4 from technologies, and we will actually be positive next turn. I'm glad I started the refectory. I don't know that I want to actually put any more units in this army. Let's hold off on that for now. Actually, I might want to move them to Nashrak's lair, though. That means they're further away from helping against vampires, but they're closer to helping against orcs, which might turn out to be necessary. We may need the reinforcements. Well, let's worry about this. I'm going to go ahead and grab those 2 units. This is where the toughest fighting is going to be. This is where these guys should be at.
One rag.
So cry off!
Mount Squighorn is just going to be vulnerable. There's not really a lot we can do about that. We could demolish one of these buildings to try to put a garrison structure together, I guess. Hold on.
Onward.
Let's do this battle.
Attack them. To battle.
We lightning strike. You know what? We can probably auto-resolve this, right? We're going to be in a friendly settlement afterward. Yeah, we're probably fine. I'm not actually even confident that that's more damage than I would have taken by doing it manually. Although, I will say it's a bummer that we didn't get to see the Goblobber in action, I guess. Don't worry. The Battle of Karak is one we're going to definitely want to do manually. Okay, we've maxed out our attacker trait. +4 leadership for the entire army when attacking. Ungrim's aura is 30% larger when attacking, and he just has +4 melee attack all the time. And there's no army in the gates of Karak. I guess it's pretty clear to us that all of the bloody spears stuff is at Jufbar. I don't know how that could be possible, but apparently that's where it is. And we've got a dwarf bride here. Can we put this dwarf bride on? Yes, we can. All right. Stacking income percentage bonuses. This is a good region for that. We probably don't need to put the powder maker in here. Yeah, I guess I also don't need the powder maker anywhere else, though. Even more income from the region. Alright, here's hoping that they don't choose to march out this coming turn. If they give me one more turn, we'll be close enough that we can help defend Grom Peak. I don't think there's anything else I want to do here.
The Slayer in me seeks death.
So Ungrim leveled up, and I don't know what we're doing now. We probably don't need to focus on his bonus versus large. Melee attack for all of the Slayers in his army actually is probably pretty significant. Melee attack for himself also is, I guess, interesting. So we could take him down his yellow line. Plate armor, bunch of hit points, bunch of weapon damage when fighting greenskins. Then also more weapon strength. And eventually he'll have Deadly Onslaught, which is an awful lot of extra damage. But I think we're gonna end up running a lot of Slayers in his army anyway, because now we have this huge casualty replenishment rate bonus for them. Let's work on this. 5 melee attack is nothing to sneeze at. And that's gonna affect 4 units in his army right now, and we're gonna rebalance this army to be a little bit more Slayer heavy at some point. Okay, and also I believe we're about to get paid. At the beginning of next turn, our quest will pop. Taking Karak back would be a big deal. I'm pretty torn still about whether we should move Grombrindle back or not. Obviously the goblins are a more immediate threat, but that's only because the vampire counts are busy. The moment that we present weakness, the vampire counts will become an immediate threat. And I'd like to keep that moment off as long as possible. Alright, so if we can take Karak, which has a fairly large and impressive garrison, also a bunch of stupid goblin signs all over our very nice Karak imagery, then not only will we get access to a major settlement that has some special buildings and a gem mine, but we'll clear one of our grudges and go back down to low severity, which will mean we gain 3 points of public order in every settlement everywhere. Yep, here comes Sour and his incredible cavalry army. So this means that they can reach us from Jufbar, I think. Oh no! I thought he was moving forward into reinforcement range so that these guys could attack. And the Strigos Empire has declared war on the Bloody Hands and the Greenskins. I don't know who these guys are. They're vampires by their name and by the shape of their sigil here. So probably they're not going to be easy to make friends with, but you know what they say about the enemy of my enemy.
Your conquests strike fear.
Enough. Enough out of you. 5,000 gold. Also, we're actually making really good money still, even though we have 3 armies running. Alright, can I... Yes. At full sprint, I could make it into Grand Peak. I can't get close enough to be in defense. Let me think. If we have 26 units in here, and they come at us with their low 30s, I assume that this army is going to be a little bit bigger on its next turn, because it probably will have finished recruiting some units. Do I think we can hold? The fact that this army is almost entirely Wolf Rider cavalry makes me think that yes, we probably can hold. Alright. Full speed run. Go, go, go. It's a shame we don't have any extra regiments of renown to give him, but the ones that we've placed in Ungrim's army definitely need to be in Ungrim's army. This is going to be a serious battle. That said, we're in perfect shape and we can just go for it, so I'm probably going to. That might be a fun way to end the episode. Yeah, definitely continue to improve the gold mine. Alright, we're showing very slightly positive on public order here. We definitely want to continue improving this. That's an extra 3 points of public order, too. Refectories are pretty alright. Yeah, let's spend some of that huge amount of money we just got on continuing to improve our income. Keep in mind that we are also still researching more money from gold mines. So actually, our economy is in a pretty good place, especially when you consider that we have 3 armies running. Alright, let's do this. This is how we're going to end the video. The Battle of Karak. It's going to be kind of a long one, probably. Yeah, there are no enemy armies within vision. We could just try to siege out here, but I think that's a bad idea. I think we need to do this as quickly as possible. So, Ruglash Brainbasha, it's you and me. Battle's slightly in his favor, but of course we have tactics and also 3 units of catapults. Honestly, I may not even go through the gate on this one. What we really need to do is take the walls and then just sit up there and harass them from the walls. We have enough units. We have enough units of dwarf warriors, like tough units, to take all of their units of Biggins on as long as we position ourselves correctly. 5 of their units are bad orc ranged. They have a couple units of goblin spider riders, which are just, as far as I'm aware, just pretty bad. The trolls we have to be a little worried about, but trolls cannot climb onto walls. So as long as we keep fighting on the walls until we have control, we don't actually have to be too concerned about that. And I do not think the goblins have the wherewithal to, like, open the gate and come out and get us. Also, we could definitely stack our stuff up in such a way that that's not even a good idea. So we could try to stack up, like, in the corner like we have been, in a way that makes the goblins unable to use the towers against our guys. But you know what? The goblins are going to be shooting at something. Let's just go ahead and lay out like this. Let's make sure we're not in range of 2 towers, but... How far do our, Oh yeah, the cones of fire go real deep. Also, it frustrates me tremendously that they get to use our very nice dwarf towers against us. Alright, unit of dwarf warriors in front. Actually, let's just stack all the dwarf warriors across the line here. We're tough, we're armored, we're shielded. This is where we want all of the tower attacks going. Have these guys over here and the Slayers over on this side. Man. A lot of dwarves in a unit of Slayers, and they don't like to stand very close together. You guys should be in this line. Vengeance. Okay, I'm pretty sure even if we're in the range of this tower, we won't be for very long. So, everybody except for the catapults, get up to the wall as quickly as possible, and we'll figure everything else out once we're up there. Catapults, I need to make sure are in guard mode. And beyond that, I don't think I really need to tell them to do much. I'm pretty sure they're going to prefer targets on the wall here. I'm just going to let them do their thing. Oh, we should try to watch. Which one's the... Okay, this one. When this one fires its volley, we should... Oh, you can hear the goblins shouting. Hold on. Can we zoom in on these projectiles? They're definitely... Yep. You can see that dude tied to the rock. I don't know why. I kind of assumed that they would tie his back to the rock. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to make a difference. It just seems strange to me that they've done it that way. Well, enjoy that, everybody. Yeah, this tower doesn't really have much on us. That was an explosion. They use a spell on us? Or what was... What is blowing up in our ranks? Because they don't have any siege weapons or anything. Is that just the... Oh, that's just good dwarven towers doing good dwarven tower stuff. Alright, well that one unit of goblin archers that we were firing at earlier is already panicking and running. No, wall. Let's make sure that we're, wall, wall, wall. Actually, I'm gonna issue a stop on these guys. They're in range to fire. Let's just fire.
We are relentless. Dwarf warriors.
Actually, even more ladders. Just keep putting ladders up on the wall until there are no more ladders to put up. I guess over here. Huh? That's definitely not the order I gave you. I might still do this thing. Alright, as soon as we have control of the wall, we will stop taking fire from this, as soon as we have control of the box here, we'll stop taking fire from this tower. Looks like they haven't really put any work on our artillery at all. We've been too focused on our approaching infantry units. I can't say that I disagree with that as a strategy. You guys have a clean shot here? No, they're too close to the wall. Are the catapults still firing? It kind of looks like they stopped firing. Yeah, they're all ready to go, and they have targets within range. Don't stop shooting. Keep killing them. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave the gate in place for now, so you guys can just go ahead and climb the wall. Let's get up on these walls. Opening the gate's not going to make anything any easier for us. We take control of the walls, then we put our ranged units up on the walls, then we shoot down into the thing. Also, we have this going on. Boy, that really does do some leadership damage, doesn't it? Alright, this tower is ours now. There's such a small area where you can interact with that actually tells them to go up on the wall. Actually, it looks like they're mostly coming up on the walls to meet us, which is pretty cool because it means that we get to fight them without having to worry about the trolls at all. I'm going to issue a quick halt to these guys, and then put them back in fire will mode, which will cause them to lose my the targets that I ordered. So they will now just select targets themselves, because I don't want them to stop firing if their old targets become unavailable or anything. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Let's command them to figure that out. See, their targeting arcs are getting a little screwy, but they're working on it, I'm sure. Alright, and these walls are looking clear enough that I think we can let's start getting our ranged up here. I guess the crossbows can stay where they are, because they're doing fine work from down there. But yeah, this is going terribly for them. They were not... they were just, like, wholly unprepared for this as a strategy. You can see the miners have started to get up on the walls. Boy, it is a mess up here.
Put that axe in their faces! Yes! Slay the Oathbreakers!
Slay the Oathbreakers. Something tells me that none of these goblins have ever taken an oath in their lives. Where's their... Is this their lord? Yeah, it is. Not just a random hero. I wonder if it would be worth trying to grab him, or if we should just... what we're doing now is working. Alright, what about the catapults? Can we... We can maybe get some shots in on these spider archers. I'm a little worried. It kind of looks like the artillery crews are moving forward. Oh, no, okay, they're just repositioning. Yeah, not bad. We are totally winning this battle on the wall. Part of what makes greenskin tribes able to really work against dwarves in the situations where they do work against dwarves is the numbers game. You know, they can just put more bodies on your bodies than you can put on theirs. But in a really close environment like a wall, or, you know, like in the lore, a tunnel or something, where you can get it to be one dwarf versus one orc or one goblin, that really, really does not favor the greenskins. Are we out of ammunition? These guys, oh no, it's the miners, right? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, their units are getting torn apart up on these walls, even with their ranged firing from inside. And the fact that they don't get to bring their trolls to bear at all really hurts them, I think. See if you can do that. You guys handle these biggins. Well, I guess you know what to do then, if you're out of ammo. Where's the... Here we go. There, ladders. You guys, I guess, can finish firing first. Alright, I expect to see a very large number of kills on each of these quarrelers. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell exactly what's going on, because a lot of their armor is red, and a lot of the clothing we're wearing is red. You can see, like, the pants on these slayers. And then also, obviously, the entire surface of the wall, and also of most of the units, is covered in blood. Can you guys not... we can't quite... They got close enough to the walls that we can't quite hit them anymore. Alright, well... Alt and then fire at will. If you find a spot you can shoot, go ahead and shoot it. But I think mostly now it's just a matter of, like, waiting until all of their units are actually ready to give up. We could probably start descending now. But you know, look at this. These forest goblin spider riders, I guess they do have poison attacks. I didn't realize that they had poison. So that's annoying, but not exactly dangerous. And they're more than halfway through their ammo already. Yeah, it's just a matter of waiting until this is finished. We can probably just speed this process up a little bit. They have a couple units of biggins here. And that's a big part of what's making this work. Alright, it does look like they're not going to give up until we go down there and fight them, though. You guys are dwarf warriors that are at full health. Lead the way.
Dwarf warriors! Strike out! Move now! Killers! Strike out! Dwarf warriors! Kill them! Yes!
The fact that they have trolls seems to be empowering them to some degree, so let's solve that problem. Let's also commit to the Slayer King here.
Miners! Fight!
These miners can chase the archers out.
Dwarf warriors! The Dowie are ready! Anu! Killers!
The guys on the wall are starting to get their nerve back.
Thunderers!
Can't say I care for that. Hey, Thorgrim. No.
Fire! Reload! Fire!
Thorgrim, get the hell off the wall, man.
Race fire!
Down,
Race
now.
fast!
There we go.
Scum!
He needs to actually get over here and fight this guy. He's sorta only halfway listening to my orders. You know, it's not, he's battle crazed. It's a Slayer thing, it's just how he does.
That'll do!
Well, we're getting some good morale damage on these trolls. Shooting them in the flank seems to be working pretty well. I think we're about to see their whole force break. Oh, before we even get our Lord on Lord battle here. Man, trolls are real goofy looking.
Have no more of this!
Don't let him get away.
Kill them!
I wish this thing gave him movement speed.
Obey me!
Oh, we got a good artillery shot in there. It slowed him down for a second. Unfortunately, now the other dwarves are getting in the way. Oh well. I guess we're not going to get to kill him. We are, however, going to get to reclaim Karak, clear a grudge, gain access to a ton of money, a really well-defended settlement, and a place where we can very easily replenish our army to full, probably in a single turn. Because most of the units that took significant damage are Slayers, and their replenishment rate is like 45% right now. Ungrim Ironfist is a good lord. He's a good, powerful lord. We might even want to drop a unit or two of warriors in favor of more Slayers in this army. Right, because we have what? We have 6 units of warriors and the Regiment of Renowned Warriors and the Longbeards and the Miners to hold the gap. So yeah, it probably is the case that we could drop a couple units of normal warriors. Again, they never have any money. Also, they rarely give us enough XP. No magic items or anything, huh? Okay, well, we've attained control of a new province. We have removed a grudge from the book and set ourselves back to 4 severity, which is awesome. We got a jewelsmith, who I guess will be relevant once we have the gem cutters up. Oh, hey! The gem mine is actually in place already. So that's that's fantastic. That's a huge amount of money that we are bringing in now. This place has a refectory already. It is only level 2. It's possible we have too many refectories in this province. I think that's something we should consider. So we probably want a growth building, at least one growth building, because we really do want to get this province developed quickly. Let's go for empower the guilds for right now. I don't think we need to worry about public order here too much with the double refectory and the big army in place. We can reevaluate the public order of this place next turn, or next video rather. Because obviously we pretty much have to end it here. Let's make a decision though on what we want to build here. I probably don't want to build the growth building in the main settlement. I probably want to put something else up here. Although, I guess maybe we want to put, maybe we want to pull down this refectory and put public growth buildings in both of these slots. Because obviously, getting this place leveled up is a serious priority. The Throne Hall of the High King is gonna help us so much. Yeah, you know what? Alright, for now, that's gonna be the plan. Alright, well, we still, we have some exciting things for the future, probably.
The dwarfs need me.
The vampires aren't running any units over here. I think I'm going to move Grombrindle. We're going to lose access to his military presence bonus, but it looks like we'll be slightly positive anyway, at least for the moment. I want to, at the very least, if he's going to stand in this province and raise public order, it might be best to have him stand in Nashrik's lair until this is resolved. So yeah, let's see. What is the best way for him to move forward? Okay, he can get a little bit further via the underway.
Fearless and unbreakable.
But we're still slightly positive. It's fine. Here in Khazid Urkulak, we probably don't really need to build anything. I guess a growth building would be fine. Yeah, we're growth bound here, and we're no longer in financial trouble that prevents us from just building stuff when we want to build it. Do I want to finish upgrading this? take it from 150 to 200 and also 50% more dies. That can maybe be held off. We might have to summon some units in the near future, so we probably want to be sitting on at least a little bit of money. And then we still have to worry about this army building up at Karak drawn. Also, armies coming in from the west, although I don't know that I think the Bloody Spears have a lot more. The Greenskins certainly do. I don't know. We're in a position that I would describe as good but precarious. So that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time to see if it all slips through our fingers. And we'll see you then.